time. Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. So the beast and on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in the...
Welcome to another episode of Bengals and Brews. I am Del Altman, the man who has I have an article on Cincy Jungle, so now I have to talk with a cooler voice. So I am joined by Greg Luther and the mayor of Port Chopolis, Chris Mertens. What's up, guys?
What's up? I got my regular voice. I didn't write an article for shit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm good. Yeah.
Greatness.
That was as long as I could do it.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah, but for real, man.
Hey, Dave, instead of Bengals and Brews, can we call it Bengals and Bagels?
Bengals and bagels?
Bengals and bagels.
Bengals and Bagels.
Is that what you're eating right now?
Cinnamon raisin bagel, yep.
The only bagels I like are like those pizza bagels.
Well, it won't be too long since I just woke up that I'll have to go give some schmear.
Oh, what's going on here? Is this a real thing going on? Are they actually considering bringing in Dalton Risner at left guard? Because I mean, I thought they were pretty set with Kappa and giving Volz to the second year, but Risner is, oh man, he's been a starter for like 4 years.
I don't see any news popping up. I typed in Dalton Risner on Twitter. I don't see any. Nah.
Well,
If
I would be on that train as well.
Well, I would too.
If anything happened after 4 a.m., I have no idea because I've been out.
Houday to Matt and Houday also to Matt. This is strictly a show for Matt's.
Houday to the Matts.
And Chris's. And Jerome.
And the
Jerome, you ruined it. It's supposed to be Matt's only, Jerome.
And Crip's in there, but who the fuck knows? Crip could be named Matt too.
I was just going to go with Chris as his name. Crip.
There you go.
Chris. Well, it starts with a C.
Yeah. We're supposed to have some other people on, but some people were just too busy. They're too good for us now. Jeff.
Who's Jeff?
You know,
Who you talking
I don't know.
about? That feller?
The one that talks in the third person in our group chat now.
Yes. Oh, I don't know. I've been asleep. I woke up 290 messages.
Yeah, no, it was for the record, it was such a beautiful day outside. The trees were blooming leaves. You know, I'm just happy to be here.
Chris and Jerome are honorary Matts today.
All right, there we go.
And Dustin.
What's up, Matt?
And Dustin.
Dustin, thank you for the super chat, brother. After the
Dustin,
Bengals draft, we're now a defense team coming up next in the Conspiracy Theories Chronicles with Dustin. No, we're not a defensive team. We got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Irv Smith, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. And I'm very high on the Chase Brown pick. And Chuck Sizzle. And we're doing 53-man roster recap, so I'm glad Greg's on here.
Wait. You stopped after Chuck Sizzle? What about my guy in the sixth round?
Because that's part of this show today. Yeah. Andre!
Man, there you go.
Woo!
Titties out, Greg.
Anytime we get Greg's shirt off is a win, so... And I'm going to disappoint him and make those nipples go soft.
Yeah, he takes that shirt off. He doesn't like that,
so Brian Bosarge was on. I respect your draft expert work, but you're like the only guy that says, well, Greg, I don't want to step on you or anything. But you were negative. You're just saying he could be a practice squad guy.
No, I'm saying that they might try to get him on the practice squad for a year because he needs to develop, you know?
No, that's cool. That's cool. But, hey, I got my high hopes. That's what I'm excited for in the preseason, man.
Well, what did Brian say?
Brian said he was number 111 on his board, but I think he kind of said something similar that he might be on the practice squad.
Yeah. See?
All right.
Oh, now that he said it, you were like, oh, maybe Dale's not full of shit.
No, I'm kidding you, Dale.
If that guy does work out, though, and he plays, if he's got some good hands and he comes in,
he's got a lot of talent.
And it's going to come down between him and Trent Irwin. he's got more. Trent Irwin might win because of the experience, so I got to accept that.
I mean, Trent had 4 touchdowns for us last year.
I know.
He's a valuable piece of this team.
Man, nobody give fucking Greg Trenton Irwin's address if that shit happens.
No, I like Trent Irwin. I know. Hey guys, I respect the system. So
No, I just wonder though. I do want a lot of that will still come down to how did he do in the preseason? Because last year we had that undrafted guy. Remember, and the Jacks snagged him up on their 53.
Oh yeah,
well in the preseason.
That's true.
So if Yossi Vosh, if he plays really well in the preseason, there's no way they can think they can get him. They'll have to make that call to keep him and want to keep developing him.
Yeah.
Who's the guy the Jags took off our practice squad? I totally forget.
I can't. That's what I would have said his name if I could have remembered it. But man, he was balling out last year during the preseason. If
Was it the receiver?
Yeah, the wide receiver that we all hated to see him go. But it was just.
I can look it up for you. Bengals.
I think we thought we he was about to come back to the practice squad, and then he got a call, and it was like, oh, the Jaguars picked you up. So it was like,
you know why? Zach Taylor's brother, Press, was with the Jaguars. I think Zach told him about him, and I think that's what happened or something. I think there was a connection or something. That's why.
Because Greg didn't have a shirt on because, well, number one, he loves taking his shirt off. Number two,
right.
Talking about the male model from the prison wide receiver.
Yeah.
Greg Yossi Vosh. Say it different every time I say it.
The previews I was watching, the guy.
Shout out Kevin for the Union Blue.
That was awesome.
Scarf.
Kendrick Pryor.
Yes, Kendrick Pryor.
That's it, Pryor.
Man, he balled out, and I mean, he just caught everything. And he almost reminded me of like Marvin Jones, even though Marvin was a 5th rounder and he was undrafted.
Right.
Like I was getting really excited about him, and it's like, do you try to squeeze him on the roster? It's just. And maybe that's the reason this year they don't go that route.
Right.
Because they're like, he's not gonna make it.
Right. Yossi, Matt Lawless, Yossi Bosch 69.
Hey, when I was watching tape on that guy, the announcer was pronouncing his name Yoso Fast.
I'll take that.
I thought that was good because he's a track star. Yoso Fast.
Well, here's a real question. Which t-shirt would sell more, Yossi Fast or Chuck Sizzle?
Dude, Chuck Sizzle is pretty legit.
That is pretty cool. I don't know. That's pretty cool.
Also, when I find out the numbers, I was thinking about getting that Juan Drago with his number.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Juan Drago across the shoulder. Badass.
When we talked to Dan Hort, he said, I got to fill him out about because I'm like, can we get a Juan Drago call? He gets an interception. Juan Drago.
Yes. Coffin nails. Juan Drago interception.
Yeah, dude, that'd be so awesome.
Bam. Bam. Bam.
Absolutely.
I can't
That's
wait
a sweet
to
name.
That's pretty badass, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is.
If he's cool with the name, I mean, that's an easy one to want to get too customized.
Well, did you know this? Talk about a small.
We got Juice. I could potentially have the corners both customized jerseys here in a year from now.
Drago Juice.
When are they going to announce the numbers?
Don't know yet.
Jesus, it's been long.
I think I've seen some teams already was announcing player numbers. I thought I saw today. So
well, no. Did you know this? Speaking of this, did you talk about a small world we live in? I didn't know this. Down in Atlanta, Miles Murphy and DJ Turner were childhood friends. Yeah, Juan Drago. I mean, I'm talking about a small world we live in, right?
Yeah, they look like they were about what 7, 8 years old, something. They weren't very old. Like,
well, no, Juan Drago was wearing a Falcons hat, but we still like you. Don't worry.
I mean, they were in Atlanta, Greg.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
They should have been Bengals fans down in Atlanta.
They should have known. We knew we were going to be Bengals. They should have.
Right.
Which we'll be mixing in some, obviously, some draft talk in with this, but we're going to try to do our initial 53-man roster predictions. This is pretty tough because even now, after yesterday, which we didn't have a show, Trevor Siemian signed. So for viewers of us, if you've been living in a hole and all you do is listen to this show, which I respect it, if that's the case, Trevor Siemian, I think he's 31 years old, bounced around the league quite a bit, but he does have some starts, does have some ability. Obviously, he's nowhere close to Joe Burrow, but honestly, he's probably an upgrade over Brandon Allen as a pure backup quarterback.
Yep, 100%.
Right.
If he earns the job. So that leads us right into
over Jake Browning.
That leads us right into quarterback for a 53-man roster. I don't see him keeping 3. There's always some way you can have a third, whatever. But who do you got for 2? Is Burrow going to get kicked out for Simeon and Jake Browning?
Sure, why not? No, I'm just kidding. But it's Burrow. It's Burrow and Trevor Simeon. I don't even know.
Simeon's probably going to come into camp and ball fucking out. Yeah. Burrow might have to sit on the bench for a few games. Yeah. You know,
like Dale does. So we'll say we keep Browning on the practice squad. Name me. Is there one team that obviously is going to be like, oh man, that's who we need as our backup quarterback? No offense to Browning or anything.
No, but he has looked really good the last couple of years in preseason. We brought him up and paid him, so I think they do really like him. But I also am with you guys. I give the edge to Simeon being the veteran. And
well, the thing of it is, remember we had Andy Dalton. We always wanted a veteran quarterback around him and all that. You really don't need that for Burrow, even if it's some young kid and all that and stuff. Brandon Allen did his time for 3 years, so it's not like you need a veteran. I mean, it doesn't really hurt to have a veteran presence around Burrow. I'm just saying. Burrow doesn't need it like Andy did, you know.
But they can turn on the tape and then go, here's Trevor Simeon versus this team in the NFL. Yeah, where you don't have that for Jake Browning. You have here's Jake Browning in the preseason versus third teamers mostly. And
no, and I remember Trevor Simeon quite well. Remember when he just tore us up when he was with the Broncos that one game we thought we were going to win against him, and he just tore us up that game. I remember that game like it was yesterday.
Well, also remember, you know, like we've seen what they can do on the field, you know, and Simeon's been out there and he's made some starts and stuff like that, but what we need to look for is who actually has the best skills at holding the clipboard, because that's all the fuck they're going to do.
Who can
probably Simeon's going to get number 2 just from experience.
What did Dale? Did you watch show when Brian was on yesterday?
Who makes Joe happier?
That's right.
Who makes him smile more?
Yeah, that's right. Who's got the best comment?
Now, what is it, Greg?
So Brian Bosard said a funny story yesterday. Remember Jim Sorgi used to back up Peyton Manning a lot?
Oh, yeah. Forever.
Yeah. There was a practice where Manning got all the reps, and they're like, why isn't Sorgi getting any? He's like, he ain't effing getting any. If he has to come in and play, we're screwed and all that.
Yeah. That's just a fact.
I mean, not to be
mean. Tell you what, I'll stand on that sideline, make that fucking change.
Yeah. Remember Craig Krenzel?
You'll make Burrow smile however you have to, won't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be awesome. That would be kick-ass if he got
so, everybody's wanting Battle Zero. Yeah, Jordan to take that jersey. I've seen a lot of that.
Either him or Juan Drago.
Hey, Greg, did you hear about the phone call Thaddeus Moscott?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know. I think Cripps just making it up again, but you know, always good to keep you on your toes.
About Greg's shirt.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe if Browning balls out again, you can put Trevor on the practice squad.
That's true.
I keep forgetting about, like, when we had Dan Horde on the other day, subtle flex. Mm-hmm. He was talking about that with Trent Taylor. He could see Trent Taylor, even though his starting spot may be in jeopardy, that he still sticks around on the practice squad.
Right.
And that makes so much sense. And I'm glad the NFL did it that way, because you know what? If these guys aren't going to make a roster anywhere else, that keeps them around for at least another year or two sometimes in the NFL, and gives them a chance to practice every day, and then maybe they bounce back and find a job the next year. Or somebody gets hurt and they come in and, they're right back on the field. Right. Instead of before, it's like you couldn't keep these veterans, so they just disappeared a lot of times.
Right.
So I do love those rules, and that's a good point, man. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
But we're all on the same page, right? We're going to go Burrow and Simeon at least start with for now.
Yep.
Unless something drastic changes.
Well, and we got to see the preseason. This is all our early on post-draft before the preseason, just guesses, predictions. So going to running back.
Ooh.
We've got Joe Mixon, Chase Brown, Travion Williams, Chris Evans. They also are bringing in Calvin Tyler and Jacob Salyers. However you say that. A couple undrafted guys.
My guess would be to start out the season, it would go Mixon would be 1. But I'm thinking there's a real good potential for that to switch up somewhere in the middle of the season. That Chase Brown's a fucking baller, and he's younger than Mixon.
Travion, I think, everybody thinks Chase Brown's going to fill in for P-Run. I think Travion's going to have a big role. I think it's going to start out with Chase Brown as the third running back just because he's a rookie. Yeah. I think Travion, they have a lot. Look, Travion Williams just never had a clear shot. We always had other running backs in front of him. Every time he's come in, I think he's just done a great job. When Pirine was out or when Mixon was out, I thought he did a great job coming in. I know it wasn't many times, but every time he came in, did a hell of a job, I thought. So I think the Bengals really feel very highly of Travion, in my personal opinion.
I feel so. I think the same way.
Yeah. I do think that they think highly of him, obviously, but I also know that they felt highly about Chase Brown.
Yes.
He was right in that conversation with Chuck Sizzle for the 4th round pick.
Well, the thing is, though, he just need to develop his pass blocking. That's all.
Fumbles. He's got to work on that ball security. He had 5 of them last year.
I forget which one pointed this out. One expert said, "Look how many carries he had." Of course,
we've even talked about that. It was probably me. That expert.
Okay, that expert's name is Dale.
Sorry, Dale. I totally
know him. He writes for Cincy Jungle sometimes.
Dale.
One time you wrote for Cincy
One time and sometimes.
Hey, Dale, I get mixed up. I feel so bad. I can't remember every expert Dale, but you did point that out, man. So let's keep that in mind. You know what? It's like, you ever see that movie, The Program, where they make him walk around with the football, and he's like, if somebody else returns this ball to me, you're not going to want to see that. So just make him carry the football everywhere he goes around Cincinnati.
But I'm very high on Chase Brown, and it was Jay Morrison who we just kind of assumed Mixon is now here, and we've thought that even a little before the draft.
Yeah.
And Jay Morrison said Chase Brown could come in and beat out Mixon for his spot.
He could.
I was kind of like,
right.
I mean, just take him back a little bit by that. It doesn't mean, that's what's going to happen. He's just saying he's going to get a chance to come in and compete.
Nothing against Mixon, but I hope he does, because that would mean we are upgraded at running back.
Yep. I still, to me personally, I still want to keep Mixon in that scenario. Yeah. And you just feel more comfortable about maybe splitting the load between those guys more. And Mixon's still a hell of a pass catcher too.
Yes,
so
he is.
In that case, maybe Mixon ends up being your 3rd down back. And they're rotating series, but Mixon gets more of the 3rd down stuff.
Well, let's not forget something. When we drafted Joe Mixon, it wasn't in the Zach Taylor. We had a completely different offense and all that. Chase Brown fits this offense, what we need. Even though Mixon, he's never been a failure in our offense, but I don't think he's done the stuff they wanted him to do and all that.
His pass blocking has been ass the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, he had a solid pass block grade. I feel like he could do it.
Yeah,
but he's so locked in that he's willing to do it. That's the thing.
That's the $1 million question right there, man.
Yeah. Well, I would say this. I would say that Joe Mixon is doing exactly what the fuck Joe Burrow wants, because he caught 63 passes last year.
Yeah.
So there's not a fucking even that little pinky finger of Joe that wants Mixon gone.
Yeah, I agree.
63 passes is a lot of fucking catches.
And that's what, shit, maybe Chase Brown becomes, like I said, if you could get a guy like Samaje rotated in. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. Dude, I've been doing it the last couple of years.
Well, I cut grass before this. So now.
What do you think I do for a living, Dale?
I know, but my allergies.
I don't cut fucking grass. I ain't cut grass in fucking years.
But so Chase Brown, though, you know how Samaje rotated in. This might be a more explosive part of the rotation, and still allow Joe to get and Travion to get some of those big 3rd down, pass catches and different things like that. So I just think it's good. The real question with the running backs is Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And I've seen somebody put it in there. Matt Wolker. I don't want to say your name wrong, sir, but maybe if you have one sometime, you can, when we do put people on. But he thinks Evans is out. I'm trending that way because I think that maybe you need an extra roster spot for receiver. It's where I'm at with it. Do we keep Evans on the roster at running back, and then maybe you got to get rid of a Yosavash or a Stanley Morgan?
Uh-oh.
No, but we'll get into receivers next, so we can kind of combine this. But that is the question, just to start with. Or you want to get into receivers and tell me? So I think we can all agree we see Mixon, Brown, and Travion Williams, those 3 being here on the 53,
easily,
right?
Easily.
Chris Evans, how many plays did he even have last year? Like 5?
He besides had a play or two, and then they got pissed off at him.
He did have a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a huge touchdown against the Chiefs. They, I think, clinched the game too.
I knew they were going to go to him. Like I told my buddy John, as soon as he ran in, I said, "What the fuck? Chris Evans is in here." I said, "They're going to pass it to his ass." Boom, touchdown. I never told you. He never went in the fucking game. I thought, well, if this guy's going in, man, the Chiefs are going to be like, this guy sucked. He never fucking does anything. And next thing you know, touchdown. It was
he
easy.
has talent. He makes plays, but man,
he can't get it together
loaf
on the field
in
for some
practice.
reason.
He must not know the playbook well. I know they've got frustrated with routes he ran on the field because we've seen that where he's getting his ass ripped.
Right.
So, yeah, it's got to be something, and you hate to speak on what exactly it is in practice because, we just don't know.
No, you don't.
But there's something that he stays in the doghouse.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll put him on the bubble for now because we got to get 53 spots, right?
Yep.
So we'll go on the receiver because I think these two tie in.
Oh, yeah.
So you got Jamar Chase.
Yep.
T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
1, 2, and 3.
Can we just
we ain't going nowhere.
That's the holy trinity of Bengal wide receivers.
Chase Jones, he's in. He's our fourth round. I mean, he's a lock.
Chuck Sizzle, you mean?
Chuck Sizzle, yes.
Say it
This
right.
one gets interesting after this.
Charlie Jones, Chuck Sizzle should be our punt returner.
Yes.
Essentially our kick returner. I think Brandon Wilson's going to have a – Dan Horde brought up Brandon Wilson, who's still around as being an explosive kick returner. But I'd say those days are numbered.
Oh, yeah.
With especially with the Jordan battle. I think he would have a tough time making it anyways. But
yeah.
We'll get there. So Chuck Sizzle, we're putting him in as – there's our top 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times they keep 6 or 7.
Yep.
Especially the offense we play where we go 4 or 5 wide.
Yep.
So you have to keep a minimum of 6 to 7. So there's our 4. Now it gets interesting, right? We got Trenton Irwin, Yosavash, Stanley Morgan. Trent Taylor is the one who Jay Morrison said it.
Brian Bossard. Brian Bossard is like, he was on yesterday. He's like, look, no offense to Trent Taylor, but
yeah. And
somebody better be learning backflips.
And maybe he goes to the practice squad, like we said, with these new rules, right?
Yeah.
But none of us are putting him on our initial 53 to start this out for this exercise.
Trent Taylor did a decent job for us, but you got other talent. I'm sorry.
All right, so we got Irwin, Stanley Morgan, and Yosavash.
Well, I'm not going to mention his name, Dale, but, as what one of my co-hosts said, why do we have a wide receiver being a special teams player? Now, I know he's doing a damn good job, but we got all these speedy defensive backs, Stanley Morgan. Do we really need to keep – but then again, he's a good blocker too, though, on run play. So that's –
He's also good. He's really good on special teams.
Like, really good on special teams.
Yeah, so really good. But, what he was
– we're projecting some of these.
Hey, especially with the fucking hang time we're going to get out of that new punter.
Well, the point he was making is we got all these speed defensive backs now on the roster. One of them can't be a gunner. And I get what he's saying. I'll get what Santori's saying and all that and stuff, waste one of our wide receiver spots. But don't get me wrong. He does a damn good job, but I get what Santori's saying, though.
So we got some in the chat. Matt Lawless and Crowley agrees with them. So they're also saying Stanley Morgan will be out. They're going with Irwin, the drafted guys. Chase.
I agree with you, Matt.
I think if they put that Yosivach on the practice squad, they're going to risk him being snagged up by somebody else.
Yeah, I do
too. I think it's too risky. I think. Yeah. Well, I hope it's too risky because I hope we see enough flashes in preseason that we say, "Oh, we really got something here."
Exactly.
He is my number one preseason player to watch this preseason. Yosivach.
For sure.
You already got his jersey ordered.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, so to me, I just say Chris Evans or Stanley Morgan. If you got a roster spot for one of the two guys, who are you giving it to?
Two different players too.
Stanley Morgan did more last year than Chris Evans.
He did so much more, and Chris Evans just couldn't get on the field. You got to give it to Stanley Morgan. Burrow praises him so much with his work ethic. Right there, that says a lot. You got to give it to Stanley Morgan.
Just for special teams.
Yeah.
But, Yosivach, he could easily be on the roster and not be activated. It wouldn't surprise me if he's on the roster not even activated all year, and I'm fine with that.
And you're going to hope that Chris Evans can slide onto the practice squad.
Right? Yeah. Well, I don't know what he did for people to look at his body of work and take his ass.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't shown a lot.
No, he hasn't.
Whereas like Stanley Morgan, teams would know, hey, we're getting an elite special teamer here with Stanley Morgan.
That's true.
Right.
That's the way I feel.
So, you got to go with the proven player. Stanley Morgan has proven himself.
I think we can give all those guys a roster spot at wide receiver.
Yep.
So I'm going with seven. I'm going with 7 wide receivers to start the season.
100% agree.
Now maybe you get a week or two in, you feel like you can stash one. Then you feel like, oh, maybe teams, and then I can try to stash Yossi Vosh on.
Yeah.
You just got to see what you can do. But I say you start with the 7 for waivers.
Right. And Dale, you got to look at it this way. I'm not saying it's easy, but running backs, it's so much easier to find a running back if you desperately needed one than a wide receiver also, if you were desperate for one. I hate to say that, but.
No, I mean, it's a good point, Greg. It really is. Because, remember when we brought in Larry Johnson, right?
Right. Well, look at the Ravens.
Cedric Benson, guys that we brought in.
Right, exactly. All those guys are still out there. I mean, look at when the Ravens were panicking. They kept signing all these guys that were sitting out. It didn't work, but I hate to say that.
The Ravens, and they suck.
Exactly.
Didn't they put Stanley Morgan in last year, though, and he dropped the fucking pass? Am I remembering that wrong?
Probably. I don't know.
Maybe, but Stanley Morgan, like I say, he's just too –
he's there for special teams.
Right. You could argue Stanley Morgan is like the Dennis Rodman type of player. He does all the rebounding. He doesn't make the big plays, but he does so much stuff that you don't see. Yeah.
Now we've got tight end.
Right.
So Irv Smith, Devin Asiasi.
Oi.
Drew motherfucking Sample.
Oh, God.
Tanner Hudson, Nick Bowers, Christian Trahan from Houston who had a .37 RAS score.
That's a fucking baller right there,
the undrafted
man.
guy we brought in.
Athletic freak.
I remember being on there with Kent Lee Platty, and he said, well, his RAS isn't good.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, the .37. It's like, whoa, shit. This is atrocious.
Hey, you know what I thought about that guy, though? Is I saw that he played fullback, too, so I wonder if they're bringing him in for anything like that.
Well, that's what he said. He said, his body almost seemed more like a fullback.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, I'm just going to be straight up with you. I think our tight end room is undecided because I think one of our tight ends, the season starts, is on another team right now about to get cut. That's just my personal.
I think we got one on our team that's a free agent. And it's Mitchell Wilcox.
Wilcox. Yeah. Let me ask you this: if we get Wilcox back, I still think we should look to adding another tight end. That's just me saying, but I know that's.
I think we probably do. I mean,
no, they could. They could.
You think they could? Okay.
Yeah,
I think they could. I mean, obviously, you're going to look. They did it last year too.
Right.
Well, the Jets are going to cut a tight end, and so is Green Bay. They both got too many tight ends, so we'll see what's available there.
Damn shame if someone was claimed and took Drew Sample's roster spot. That'd be a damn dark day for this show.
That'd be terrible.
Right. No, like I said, but as of right now, it's obviously Irv Smith, Cam Sample, and Ossie, I guess. But
Drew Sample.
Yeah, Drew Sample. Sorry.
Tanner Hudson, he's played a little bit in the NFL, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just think there's still unfinished business for the tight end room.
Hopefully.
We've got to bring CJ home.
Hey, I'm all for that. I will. If he got cut by the Jets, bring him home immediately. I
got mixed emotions about that one, but
Jeremy Rucker.
Well, Dale, you got to
look.
Rucker's not going to get. Jets would not cut Rucker because he's on a cheap rookie deal. I would love that to happen.
Right.
It's either going to be Conklin or Uzomah. And if Conklin's cut, Bengals tried to sign him too. So if one of those two are cut, I race to one of them immediately.
Uzomah is their fucking Chris Evans.
Yes.
He didn't get on the goddamn field last year. They paid him a shit ton of money, and he didn't do anything for him.
Now, when he did get on the field to run the last games of the season because he was hurt, he had like 2 touchdowns.
And also, you know how much they're due to pay Aaron Rodgers next year? It's like 150-something million. So, I mean, they got it. I just don't see how they're going to – and they drafted Kuntz out of Old Dominion.
Well, that's the thing, though, Matt. They can't – I mean, it looks that way. Their practice squad could be all tight ends.
Yeah.
But any team can claim them.
We can easily claim them, though, yeah. Yes, I
would, David. I would.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think he was on an interview not too long ago somewhere, and he said "Who Day" and all that and stuff. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool.
But he did because he's going to be looking for a home. I mean, listen, would I like to have him back? It's cool. He's got chemistry with Joe Burrow. But
that's what I'm saying.
When he left out here, I felt like he talked a little shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's expected. He went to a new team, and he's just hyping up his new team. But then halfway through the season also, he fucking flipped the middle finger to his quarterback by wearing that Mike White T-shirt.
Right, exactly.
He was a good locker room guy here, but I just wondered what the fuck was going through his head with that shit. That,
I have no idea. But if I know I can get Uzama back, who has great experience with, I would take him back.
He had good production for us.
Yes, he did. I just didn't want to.
Here's my thing. Even if you talk a little shit, whatever.
Yeah.
If you can come here and produce and help us win a Super Bowl, I don't give a fuck.
Thank you.
I'm being honest. I don't give a fuck.
Thank you. I'm not going to hold it for the rest of my life or anything. You know what?
Fuck it. You know what? You talked me into it, Greg. I'm gonna let it go.
I mean, like now it depends on how
we got the same initials anyway. Me and CJ.
That's what I'm saying.
For John.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean,
for all I know, he's Christopher John. He fucking Christopher John Uzama.
Right.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Bring back Christopher John.
You guys talk about your thoughts on this one because this is another guy, that I think if it happens, Hunter Henry from the Patriots. So talk about a couple tight ends that you think could still happen, and I'll be right back.
All right, well, dude, Hunter Henry, man. Oh my, we don't even need to get into this, man. I mean, that's where you pick up the phone. Hunter Henry, you got to think, man. He want to win a Super Bowl because they signed Gesicki to that 1 year. Remember, I was all on Team Gesicki, and I just couldn't believe he only signed for 1 year, $4 million. I'm like, you mean to tell me we couldn't? Oh my God, man. But Hunter Henry, I think, is more the tight end that would fit the Bengals better. If we could get Hunter Henry, man, sign me up for that. Like CJ Uzama, he did well for us, but I thought it was a little overrated. But still, man, getting him back right now, I mean, look at our tight end room now. CJ Zombie, like I say, I'm not trying to go out on Irv Smith, but the guy just can't stay healthy at times. I hope he proves me wrong, play 16 games this year, balls out, and he can kick me right in the gut for doubting him if he could stay healthy.
Shit, I hope he does too. I hope Irv Smith's our answer, but we only signed him for a year. Joe
That's
Burrow
what I'm saying.
Look great, and he's going to get a 3-year contract somewhere else.
And you know what? People said the Bengals didn't care about tight end. We did, but the thing is, the tight ends, man, like Shoemaker out of Michigan, who I liked in the 4th or 5th round, got taken in the 2nd by Dallas. I mean, tight ends were just flying off the board, just like that. You know me, Pork Chop. We all thought it was going to be Michael Mayer at Paycor Stadium, but
I couldn't find your ass.
No, Pork Chop, man. I know it looked like I was pissed off. I don't want to use the word pissed off. I was just in total shock.
No, you weren't. I didn't think you were pissed off at all. You were just like, you were losing it, man, running around as that clock counted down.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Then I found out I think I even heard they had Laporta ranked higher than Michael Mayer. So
they must have heard you with the initials. They just didn't hear the right.
Well, no, what's funny thing is Miles and Michael both started with M-I. I'm like, here we go, Miles.
They got the same initials, M and M.
Right, exactly. And so, but like Miles Murray, I get it now. And like Michael Mayer just probably didn't fit in our offense. And I'm okay with that. I trust the system. Was I shocked? Was I if they would have gotten a tight end, I would have gave our draft.
I still wish I could look at the board because like we had Jay Morrison he said, I don't think Mayer was even in the conversation. And I mentioned that to Dan Hort, and Dan Hort said, I think he was very much in the conversation.
We need to go down to Paycorn, sneak in there.
I would love
to break into that fucking war room and just take a look at the board.
And then like Joe Goodberry, I think where he was probably on with Lapham and different people. Plus, he just got built up connections over the years.
Right.
I was trying to get some information from him, but he was like, "Go subsribe." Which, damn, fuck you, Joe.
Go subscribe.
You're making enough money.
Well, no. Dallas 1 year got screwed because Jerry Jones getting interviewed. It showed their draft board right behind Jerry Jones, so people copied off of it and all that.
Oh yeah, Jerry Jones is famous for always showing their damn
right. You almost wonder if he does it on purpose at times to get the attention. I don't know.
I love him, man. I just think he's coked up, but that's my opinion.
Well, then they find out they almost took Matthew Bergeron with the 25th or 26th pick.
26, they were between Bergeron and Mozzie Smith, and they ended up going with Mozzie instead.
And we were all praying. I mean, nothing against Bergeron, but I think it's safe to say we were all praying, no, don't take this guy.
Yeah, well, Dan Hort said that was a bunch of bullshit. He obviously didn't say those words.
Right.
That's a quote.
Right.
Don't quote that. That was not a quote.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
But he said that Bergeron they were very high on, but he said when all that came out on Thursday about him potentially at 28 was 100% false.
But yeah, going back like the tight end, June 1st cuts, like Dale, don't get mad at me. But Santori told me, Greg, after the draft, June 1st, we're not done with this wave of players being available. June 1st cuts, there's the NFL new rule. You have to make a crap load of cuts. There's going to be that tight end available where teams like, oh my gosh, we could have gone after him, but our tight end room's already full and all that. There's going to be that guy available, and it sees Joe Burrow. It's like, I want to go win a Super Bowl right now. If Hunter Henry, like you just said, Dale, Hunter Henry would be a great match. I
But we keep saying the June 1 cuts, but you can designate it before, so that's what
that's true. Remember. But I'm just saying that draft. The only reason why I didn't get the draft an A minus or in the A range is because of the tight end. I know that's a little unfair. I'm happy, but if we fix this with the tight end, that draft gets almost an A plus for me. Then
I don't know if, which I'll look here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots, and I don't think they took a tight end in this draft, which may be the only reason. I know they picked up Gesicki.
Right, they have Gesicki and Hunter Henry right now. Gesicki only got for $4 million. I don't know how much they have Henry on contract for.
Oh, he's steep. He's like 10 or 11.
Yeah, I know they overpaid him. Let me look up Hunter Henry's contract.
Oh, aren't we going to have some empty draft capital too?
Damn it! Cut off. I don't
cap
have
space once they restructure Mixon.
I think so. Yes.
So I'm not sure. I don't think the Patriots drafted tight end, but I'm not sure. I don't have the information here. I thought I did.
Yeah, but the Jets are the team obviously we look at the most with all the tight ends they have on that freaking roster. I just couldn't believe they took Kuntz. I'm like, why did you? I did not get that at all.
But back to the 53 man here.
Damn.
Offensive line. I feel like how many do we normally keep, guys? Around 10?
This is
10.
Is this offensive line guards and tackles and centers?
The whole offensive line, I feel like we usually keep around 9 to 10 because
right here.
You only have 5, and then half the time there's 1 or 2 of those guys end up being game day inactive because they only bring up like 3, I feel like. So I want to say 9 to 10. But just going off of that, we can go ahead and kind of say, as of now, the starters, Orlando Brown, Cordell Volson, Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, Jonah Williams.
Right. And
those 5 aren't going anywhere. Jonah would have to get traded.
Yep. And the next one would probably be Jackson Carman.
100%. I lock him in as a roster lock. He's battling. They've said it over and over. Yes, usually 9, Keith said. That's what I was thinking. So
it's 9. It's 9. Yeah.
Usually 9. Okay, so there's 6 right there. The starters and Jackson Carman.
Right.
Is 6. Max Sharping they brought back.
Yeah.
At guard. I think he's going to make it.
I think so too.
He's a veteran. They brought him in. He played multiple positions. Not so great in the last game, but so that's 7.
Right. Oh, and what about Ford?
What about that Wisconsin?
He'll probably play for a spot though.
Well, what about that Washington kid who went undrafted? Who they said
Jackson Kirkland. Well, that's what we're getting into. So we're saying there's 7. Now there's 2 spots available, right?
Right.
We listed our 5 starters, including Jonah, Max Sharping, and Jackson Carman, who could be the starter. There's 7. We got 2 spots available between. Here's the guys I say at least are competing for the roster spot.
Okay.
I think Collins starts out on injured reserve, so I'm not counting him.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Trey Hill, Akeem Adeniji, Cody Ford, Jackson Kirkland is the undrafted free agent who I had a draftable grade on. Ben Brown, who was an undrafted free agent last year and got injured, center guard versatility. He had a draftable grade last year, not only for me, but a 4th or 5th round grade from Dane Brugler last year. And then Deontay Smith, who I think is on the outside looking in as of now. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys for 2 spots.
I was a big fan of Deontay Smith when we drafted him. He had the measurables. They said he just needed to get coached up. I know he's been hurt, but I was a huge fan of Deontay Smith. But I don't. Do you think he's run out of time, or? I just think last year showed a lot when he was never active, and even when the injuries came in, he never got his chance. Yeah. So
it just, to me, that said a lot about his lack of development. You know?
Yeah, Cody Ford just scares me. I mean, you look at his PFF scores, like, good Lord. But that, I know they say they're going to try him at tackle, but, we'll see what happens. Like I say, but Akeem Adeniji, no offense to him or anything, but I just think how many chances can he get?
Yeah, well, he's going to get another one. I guarantee that.
I have a feeling he gets another one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
But I will say one spot will come down between Trey Hill and Ben Brown to me because they're the only 2 guys that could fill in at center.
Ben Brown, I knew they were very high on. Trey Hill, I was high on coming out of Georgia. I know he was a late-round pick, but I don't think he's ever really produced. But Ben Brown, I think, was doing well before he got hurt. Is that correct last year?
I think so, and I just, like I said, I know that he had potential
to
be a solid draft pick. So I don't know how he's doing from his recovery, this, that, and the other. But I could easily see Ben Brown beating out Trey Hill for a roster spot.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know shit about either one of them.
But it'll be one of the two, right? So you got to say one of those two guys gets a roster spot. Now we're down to one. No, right? We're down to, one spot if we only keep 9.
Yep.
I'll bet you it's fucking Cody Ford, man, just because
I think
he's got experience.
I think it'll be Cody Ford. I really do.
I think it comes down to Cody Ford and Akeem Adeniji. And maybe this is the way Adeniji doesn't make it.
Maybe
because they see enough in Ford, who's played guard and tackle as well.
Yep. You got to look at this. Ford, though, was I think he was a good player. I don't know how he was coming out of high school, but he was a second-round pick, so he obviously had the potential. Maybe he's better off playing tackle. Who knows?
And you got a body that can fill in.
Right, exactly.
In the NFL.
Right.
And his grades, as bad as they are, have been higher than Adeniji's.
Right, Adeniji, man. I don't want to come at the guy. I know he's a good person, although I know he was he thought very highly of, but he's caught the Super Bowl, that Kansas City game in the last play. I know that's not fair to say, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, and now Kirkland is the guy who could come in and surprise you, but he's had tons of injuries at Washington, older prospect. So you worry about his health, number one.
Right.
Number two, can they count on it even? I think he's a guy they'd want to keep on the practice squad.
Right.
If they could.
Right.
But, I'm not going to give him a spot, but he has a chance to earn one.
Right.
I think Ben, I highlighted earlier my picks, and I put Ben Brown over Trey Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I put Cody Ford. I ended up going with 10, though, and keeping Adeniji.
That's fine. If you want to go 10, that's cool.
Well, it come down to where I had an extra roster spot.
Right.
There you go.
But, maybe you guys fill this spot somewhere else on defense here.
Yeah, so let's put that to the side. I mean, if it's down offensive lineman, I'm not going to complain about that.
No, and Adeniji, I know everybody, but I just think the Bengals are higher on him than what we are, to where I could sit, like Pork Chop said, I could see him still being here.
Right.
Because they trust him. He's their first guy in when people got hurt.
No, they do trust him, so that's fine. And I know he has come in as a 6th offensive lineman at times and done a damn good job too at it.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping Carmen can do that this year.
Yeah,
if Jonah is going to be the right tackle from day one.
Well, can we agree on this? I don't see a scenario where you have Jackson Carman, Jonah Williams, and La'el Collins all on the team at the same time. I don't know if I see that. Do you guys?
Right, but the thing with La'el is if he starts out on injured reserve,
that's true. It doesn't count.
We'll just have to see if they're, and I could see him being cut before that. If Jonah comes into camp and they think he looks good, and they think Carmen looks good, and they think Ford looks good, then I could see them just saying, "Collins, we're going to go ahead and cut you."
Right.
Hey, personally, I hope that Jackson Carman comes in and fucking balls out at right.
Me too. I hope he does.
Then they get some trade value for Jonah somewhere in practice, or somewhere between now and the beginning of the season. Someone needs a left tackle. We get rid of that fucking $12 million, $12.8 million, and we also get a player.
Yeah, I agree with you, Porch. I don't think that's going to happen. But I get what you're saying, though. I don't think that's going to happen.
Now, moving to the D line here on the defense, they usually keep about 10 for this. So I've got starters still being same as last year.
Yeah.
Hubbard, Reeder, Hill, and Hendrickson. Murphy, first round pick, not going anywhere.
Obviously.
No.
Just Wasai, not going anywhere.
Nah.
Josh Tupou is DJ Reeder's backup. He's not going anywhere. Zach Carter, third round pick last year. He's not going anywhere.
No.
There's 8 spots taken.
Yep.
Cam Sample, he's not going anywhere.
No.
That's nine right off the rip. And then you go 1 spot left. And to me, it comes down to most likely Jay Tufele, Terrell Basham that they brought in, and Jeff Gunner.
Gunner, we had high hopes for last year. I know
I like Tufele, man. He played good when he came in.
Tufele did come to Pork Chop. Remember Pro Football Focus, he had the highest Pro Football Focus grade when he did come in. So, but Jeffrey Gunner, he just got hurt last year. I know they were hyping Basham. I mean, dude, that's another one. You have Battle and Basham out there at the same time and all that. That'd be kick-ass right there, man. But
it comes down to me of, okay, are you keeping a 50 tackle or are you keeping a 6D end?
You probably have to keep that DT just because how thin you are right now, DT, right?
Right.
That's where I went with Tufele, but I could see them trying to practice squad him because they did it a lot last year.
Right. No, I understand that.
If that's the case, I think it comes down to Basham and Gunner, obviously, and it wouldn't surprise me either one of those guys are the spot.
No, I mean, but when you're short of DT, and by the way, quick thing about Zach Carter, he's the biggest winner of the Bengals draft because they didn't get a 3-tech. So
yes,
and let's not forget he was doing damn well near the end of the season.
Yeah, he was coming up.
Yeah, he was coming on. So I have high hopes for Zach Carter. Just so you know.
So do I. You know, we had another guy that was a Gator that didn't play the beginning of the season who came on really good too.
Carlos
right?
Dunlap.
That's right.
And he did.
He became a fucking beast.
He did damn well. Yes.
So I'm going to go to Tufele just
cool.
as my 10th spot, but if Basham or Gunner got it, would not shock me one bit.
No, not either.
Especially the fact that if they really feel like Murphy can slide in a D tackle more in the NASCAR and Hubbard, if they're going to use a full NASCAR package, then I can see them going light on D tackles and having an extra in one of the other guys. Because I think Cam Sample could slide in too.
Oh, yeah, he could. But now, wouldn't Hubbard slide in the middle and they'd have Murphy on one side, Hendrickson on the other, or no?
NASCAR package, to me, ideally, would be Hendrickson and Osai on the outside.
Okay.
And it would be Hubbard and Miles in the middle.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Just saying, go get them, boys.
Dude,
It's 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and 15.
I mean, you look at Miles Murphy with those big, long arms, man, him just running right through. Oh, my God, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and they said, like, when he's played inside, he's looked good playing inside. Like,
wouldn't you hate to be the person cleaning up the stadium that day because all the fucking cum all over the seat?
I might enjoy that, actually.
There you go. Oof. So, yeah, the DT sounded like it was the easiest to do because of all the talent that's on there.
Yeah, D-line, I mean, is pretty stacked.
Yeah.
It just comes down to that one final spot and let the boys battle. And
absolutely.
I mean, Gunner earned a spot last year right out of training camp as a rookie, so I'm not counting him out at all, and that's what I mean. Like Basham, that's why, like, I never saw a signing like a Basham because then when you bring in Murphy, it's kind of like, well, but, you know, they didn't know they were going to get Murphy, obviously.
No,
I mean, fell into their laps.
But you know what, Pork Chop, though, man, like I said, when I really thought about it, this is good. This is an awesome pick. Like I said, I didn't do any research because I didn't think he was going to freaking be there, so – So I'm cool with this. I mean,
now linebacker to me is still one of the easiest ones.
Oh.
That's why, and you guys wanted Ivan Pace and stuff. I understood. Hey, I like him, but I'm like, I don't see the roster spot.
No.
The fact we go majority 2 linebackers a lot, we only keep 5, and that 5 is so solidly locked into me.
Right.
With Pratt, Wilson, Joe Bocci, Akeem Davis-Gaither, and Marcus Bailey.
Let's move on. Done deal.
The only thing I wanted to say at this is the tweet that Higgins sent out talking about that linebacker from
Isaiah Simmons.
Arizona. Simmons.
His safety linebacker.
Yeah.
But, you know, he fit perfectly in Lou's system, can move around a lot. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's something that they deal with later on. I mean, he's going to want a lot of money, but he's on.
I was going to say, that's the thing. You know, you talk about these guys like, oh, it'd be great to have this. It'd be great to have a lot of guys. But, yeah, once again, why did we draft the first 3 rounds, Pork Chop defense?
What I'm saying, yes, exactly what I'm saying is that if we traded away Jonah, we got rid of that 12.8, I would leave in the money to bring that guy in for his 1-year fucking deal to hoist that fucking Lombardi.
Yeah, no, I hear you, buddy.
I hear what you're saying. I just think.
I mean, I'm not putting him on the 53 right now.
No, Pork Chop. I didn't mean to dodge you last time saying I don't think you're going to do it. But if I knew Carmen could ball out, I'd be taking offers for Jonah right now. I'd try to trade for a player right now that could help me win a championship.
It just seems like Jonah's going to be the right tackle.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be the right tackle. But
the reports are that, like, he's more okay with it now.
Yeah.
Or he's going to be here for training camp now. Like,
hey, but a boy can dream.
But no, guys, before we move on, I just want to say, remember 4 years ago, we would have probably like a discussion a day about what our position group is. Look how easy this is to go through. All the talent we have on this roster, man. It's like bam, bam, bam. Man.
Well, linebacker, 4 of those guys are from the same class, and Jermaine Pratt was from the class before.
Right.
Logan Wilson, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Marcus Bailey, we all drafted. We brought Joe Bocci in later on.
Oh, my God.
All from the same draft class.
Yeah. There's one guy, though.
Linebackers from one draft.
But remember, whatever happened to Clayton Johnston, who just balled out in the preseason and had that?
We never brought him back. We never signed him back. That's what I don't think we have the roster.
No, I don't think we do. I don't think we have the
even for him.
Right.
Now, if he wants to come back and be on the practice squad or something, I'm sure they'd be more than willing to have him.
And he came in and made a huge stop with Derrick Henry on that 1 yard line, but Bob preseason, but we just didn't have any room for him. But that's a good problem to have, though.
That's what I'm saying. I really like him. I'm just saying, that 5, as long as they're healthy, it's damn near impossible to crack. Special teams wise, with Bocce and Bailey,
remember our linebackers were like the worst linebackers in the league at one point just 4 years ago and all that, and now we have maybe the best linebacking core in the league almost.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah,
especially if Wilson takes another step, and that's why I want to get him signed because I'm afraid.
Yes.
I'm afraid and I'm not afraid because he's on his contract year, and if he balls the hell out, I hope it leads to a Super Bowl.
Well, I think he said in an interview he's confident. And by the way, Port's good. I say with Simmons thing. I think the reason why that mainly got attention was it's just that T is going to be here next year also too. That's why it mainly got attention.
Speaking of Logan Wilson, I was watching something. Dave Lapham had him on for part of his show, or maybe it was during the draft picks or something like that. And the way he was talking, it sounds like they're already talking about his contract.
Yeah, I'm confident something will get done.
Man, I'm telling you, lock in Pratt and Wilson, our linebackers for the next 4 or 5 years.
Oh, my God.
I wonder if Crip's still watching because as we're getting down and we're like, we've got secondary, we've got corners and safeties left. You know what, Crip? It's time for a mock draft. Oh, wait. That's over. Me and Porch was talking about this the other day. I think that simulator came out today, though.
Did it really?
For next year.
All right. Well,
you want to tell the people what we were talking about, Pork Chop?
What's that?
How sad why you were going to be sad about the
mock draft? That's what I was going to say. Like, if the new mock draft simulator come out, at least now I know what to do when I shit tonight at work.
Yeah.
That was his go-to, man.
Recently I go in there and I just shit.
And he don't know what to do with himself.
It's so sad. I pull out my phone and I'm like, ready for the draft simulator. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's over.
Damn.
I know.
It's so sad. I just shit, I wipe, and I go. Back to work.
What fun is that?
Right.
Hey, Fiji said it's 2024 mock draft time.
I'm ready for it. Tonight I'm going to look for it.
Yeah, we got to get there, guys. I did send out my list, and I revised my 2024 draft needs, which, I could give you what I have for the Bengals here when we get done. See if you guys agree with me. So that's something we can talk about. But let's finish out our 53-man projection. We've been pretty on that's what there's not much to argue about when your team's this damn good.
Send that shit to fucking Duke Tobin when we're done.
I think they know.
I mean, that man can make money for nothing. We'll fix everything. He could just chill.
Exactly. So cornerback. I think we usually keep 6 and we keep around 4 safeties, sometimes 5. And I think if we keep 5 safeties, could be why we keep 9 O linemen. So this could be a conversation to have here.
Yes, sir.
End. But we'll go corners first. So we got Cheeto. Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yep.
Mike Hilton.
Yep.
Those guys aren't going anywhere, right?
No way.
Then we've got DJ Turner.
Yep.
That's 4. Jalen Davis was signed to a 2-year deal to back up Mike Hilton as the slot corner.
Right. They think very highly of him. Yeah.
And then Sidney Jones, the 4th.
I think he can revive his career. I'm really interested to see what he can do.
Now, I could see Alan George and him in a competition, and DJ Ivey, the guy they drafted in the 7th round.
Yeah.
Those guys will get a chance.
Yeah.
But I think Sidney Jones
has the edge over those guys by a mile right now.
Because I think they would trust if one of the outside corners go down right away to put him in, probably even over Juan Drago.
Right.
But Juan Drago, the thing is, he's versatile too. He can play inside, outside, so you got a lot you can do with him.
Right.
And just, man, giving him a year and let him play special teams.
Juan Drago's our future. I'm telling you.
No, my God.
I know. I just don't know if you want to have to put, maybe even Cam Taylor-Britt, it was the second half of last year.
Right.
Which didn't we trade up to pick 60 for Cam Taylor-Britt?
Yes, we traded like 3 or 4
we
spots.
had pick 60 this year.
Yep.
So how weird will that
Picked them
be
at the
if
same place.
two guys picked in the same exact spot at the same position?
What would DJ Turner?
Elite pick six. Like,
Dale.
pick 60s?
Yeah.
60s.
The 60s.
You can pick 6Ds. Nuts.
But, yeah.
DJ,
Man.
fucking DJ Turner, man, he's like, he's got the possibility of being like an island type.
Yeah, you know exactly.
Alan George, I'm very high on, Matt. So trust me, you could easily convince me that Alan George makes it because I loved him last year, and that's why I said I said I don't think we need a corner because of Alan George. We took 2 of them, so they obviously didn't give a fuck what I said.
Yep.
But that's how high I was on
That was last year, Dale. This year, you're fucking published.
It's a whole new me. And if I get that Jackson Carmen hair, it's fucking game over.
There you go.
For everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can do that. My hair don't, number one, grow like that, and it damn sure don't curl like that. And a perm on me,
maybe I could get a
perm
perm
on me ain't gonna look like Jackson Carmen's hair look like on him. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
Turbo, listen. We don't care if you don't like us. We love you. Okay?
Yeah.
We're lovers here. We had a Steelers fan come on, like, oh, Bengals suck. Next thing you know, we're exchanging Twitter and Facebook information with the guy. We're lovers on this show.
That's right. That's what we do.
It's football. It's a game. We have our
Yes.
team. You have yours. It makes it fun, man. I just want one Super Bowl, too. One. I'll be happy.
Be a lover, not a hater.
Yeah, Fiji's saying he don't know if I wouldn't say he's safe, but they did sign him for a 2-year deal. Kind of like with Tupou last year, Stanley Morgan last year. When they sign these fringe guys where you're like, oh, they're kind of special teams, depth. When they sign them for 2-year deals, to me, it's a statement.
Yeah.
That they're going to play him.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, we go over this all the time. We agree with you, Turbo. We want our mayor to shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
That was the dumbest thing he could have done.
No, I mean, that was totally unnecessary.
But Joe Burrow is still Big Dick Joe. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Giant fucking Dick Joe.
Totally unnecessary for that to happen. Yep.
But yeah, moving on. You guys, we'll go with the 6 for now, but we can see Alan George sneaking in there or DJ Ivy.
Yeah.
They've got chance.
Yeah, no, they got a chance. I wouldn't be surprised, but if it's right now, I got to say Sidney Jones, but that could easily change.
Yeah, Sidney Jones and Jalen Davis. Like, I could see, DJ Ivy, maybe they're like, oh, we'll move him in.
Yeah.
We'll
But Bengals love the DJs.
Yep.
Safeties. Dax Hill, Jordan Battle,
Nick Scott.
Nick Scott.
Tyson Anderson, Michael Thomas, Brandon Wilson, Larry Brooks III, Yusuf Corker. So a lot of bodies.
Yeah, a lot of bodies, but Mike Thomas, he makes it because of his special teams, right? Because he's the captain.
Yeah. That's the one I don't have highlighted, sir. This
Really?
is what I think so we can all agree Dax, Nick Scott, Jordan Battle, Tyson Anderson, all making this team.
Yep.
Those 4
Right.
making this team at safety. Michael Thomas this is where I go back to, okay, maybe it comes down to literally. Michael Thomas is a 5th safety, and that would be 11 defensive backs overall. They don't always go 11, they go 10 a lot.
Right.
But you can go 11. And then instead of 10 offensive linemen, you go back to 9, which we've seen that they do. So do you give the spot to Michael Thomas, captain, special teams guy, or Kim Adeniji, who's not going to give you any special teams? He's not a captain. So
Mike Thomas, special
Over
teams.
Energy.
Yeah. I have no problem saying that. I'm sorry. I know it.
I don't know. You got Jordan Battle coming up, who he is not in the NFL, but he's also a captain, and he also fucking balls out on special teams.
Tyson Anderson plays all special teams too.
Yeah.
That was her.
Maybe we do stick with look, I'm not trying to be against Denji, just my personal opinion. He's just had so many chances, but I get what you guys are saying.
You're right, but last year we had a lot of injuries on the O-line, and we needed people.
Or Chop, I understand that. But you know what? You guys made a good, valid point right there.
See, you were doing so good, Turbo Duran. And then you said you're a Raiders fan, you have Jimmy G, and you're going to the Super Bowl. Oh, geez. You were doing so good.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you said Jimmy G leading the Raiders to the Super Bowl. Whew. Man. If you guys could have got Rodgers, maybe, I could have listened to you out there, but Jimmy G. The Super Bowl what? Like modeling?
There you go. Well, he'd be good at that, man.
We can compete now. We got Yosivas.
We got Yosivas.
We got Juan Drago.
That's it.
We got models, okay, too.
Yeah, we're getting fucking hot over here.
Yeah. Like not us, but
No, we're gonna have the calendar coming out this year.
The players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see. So that's kind of the roster spots, right? The last roster spots, because we also said Stanley Morgan as a 7th receiver. Maybe they go 6. They keep Michael Thomas and Adeniji. Those to me are like the last few spots. Is like the 7th receiver, a 10th offensive lineman, or a 5th safety. So that's what's fun, right?
Yep.
I mean, here we are this far in advance. We'll see how close we were come like cut down time. And obviously, if there's an injury or two, we couldn't predict that. We didn't know. So that'll make it life easier for them. What you got going on here? What's your picture? I don't even know who
they're getting feisty in the chat.
Turbo don't even know what was his own stadium. Oh yeah, that's true.
It is. It's in Vegas. We're gonna be there.
Yeah. The Bengals are gonna be there.
The Bengals are gonna be there.
We'll be in Vegas. If
we'll be there.
Turbo, we're gonna be looking for hookers.
We'll be yelling from the outside of the stadium to the team, but we'll be out there.
Yeah, we ain't got that kind of money to go into the stadium.
Who the fuck's got that kind of money to go? But we'll go. We'll be out there partying.
Fact.
But fellas, unfortunately, I got to get ready for work.
Hey, it's that hour mark anyway, so I got to end it too. I appreciate you hopping on with Pork Chop. I know it was last minute. Coming in clutch.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it, buddy. Anytime you're in, that's awesome, bro.
Jeff's too big time, just so everybody knows. He'll be on with Ace and Zim tonight.
Right.
He even tweeted out, Strawberry Ice will be on with Ace and Zim. So he started talking in the third person about his appearance with Ace and Zim on their show tonight. He hasn't had time to even answer me if he would come on today. So he's really,
he's zoned in.
Remember that big head that
yes.
Bill makes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Bill. It's coming to reality really quick.
Right.
Really quick. But Gregor, you guys don't have a show. Do you have a show tonight?
So, no, we have a show Monday, and come Wednesday, special guests from all Bengals and Locked On Bengals. So excited to have them on. James Rapine. Don't want to miss it. This Wednesday coming up 7 p.m. So excited to have for that one coming up, guys. Please tune in.
That's going to be awesome.
And
absolutely.
We may have a show tomorrow at 3:30. Just depends. I don't know. Probably will. Probably will.
Hey, Dale, just so you know, you don't ever need to worry about asking me. I'm always in, bro.
Well, I know, Greg, but people have life, so I got to always make sure I ain't going to come and sit on by myself.
Okay.
But, so I appreciate you guys all in the chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you guys hopping on with me. But, yes, I know we're going to have a show at 7 tomorrow, which Derek was supposed to be part of it. Joe's getting a snip surgery, so he can't have no more kids. So he's not planning to be on. Derek was supposed to be on, but now he said, they rescheduled a game. I'm like, damn it, Derek. So, but I think we're going to deep dive recap the draft with Parker Blake and draft guy Jared tomorrow night at 7.
Awesome.
So I know we're having a show at 7 tomorrow, but most likely you'll be seeing at least me and Greg tomorrow. Maybe even Pork Chop.
Hey, look from David. What you got?
3:30.
You go, Dave.
What?
You're also being paid for being published.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Well, that's the only I didn't get no money for that article. It's for the people.
You just got $5 for that article. If Derek gave it to you.
Thank you, David.
Tell Derek he owes you $5 out of that.
Well, I keep telling him he owes me a lot of money, all these super chats. But I do appreciate that. And, man, it was just fun to write the article. Honestly.
Dude, Dale, that was funny. I enjoyed each and every Analysis man, please tell me you're going to be doing this again soon, buddy.
Hey,
if they want me, I'll write them.
People haven't read it. It's a very fun article to read.
Very awesome. Just totally straight up. Dale.
It's fucking Dale being fucking Dale.
Absolutely.
Well, I was like, how can I add some humor in it? You know, so I tried to add some humor here and there without, you know, it's an article for I can't fully be me. But I did what I could.
Throw in that fucking Altman flair.
Yeah, but I appreciate anybody that checks the article out. Anybody that subscribes to our channel, tell friends to subscribe to the channel. Our subscribers have been, you know, steady. We haven't really gained a lot lately, but that's okay because we love all you guys. But it would be nice to get a little more, you know. So, but I don't want to be greedy. But if we get some more subscribers, I'd love it. And I appreciate you all and appreciate you guys. Hooday.
Hooday.
Hooday, baby! Let's go! It's time! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. Hooday when we fight. Live and die in these stripes. Now who got 'em, who rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move bottom? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. So the beast and on 'em. Who they rockin'?